have killed enough in your life and so let these go," said the son. But the old woman would not listen. The boy rose up, fearing his mother, and taking a long knife, went to the right-hand room and cut the throats of the 3 girls without ribbons. He went to bed then for himself. And when Smallhead found that the old hag was asleep, she roused her sisters, told what had happened, made them dress the Bridge of Blood quickly and follow her. Believe me, they were willing and glad to follow her this time. The 3 traveled briskly and came soon to a bridge, called at that time the Bridge of Blood. Whoever had killed a person could not cross the bridge. When the 3 girls came to the bridge, the 2 sisters stopped. They could not go a step further. Smallhead ran across and went back again. "If I did not know that you killed our mother," said she, "I might know it now, for this is the Bridge of Blood." She carried one sister over the bridge on her back and then the other. Hardly was the sun when the hag was at the bridge. "Bad luck to you, Smallhead," said she. "I did not know that it was you that was in it last evening. You have killed my 3 daughters. It wasn't I that killed them, but yourself," said Smallhead. The old hag could not cross the bridge, so she began to curse, and she put every curse on Smallhead that she could remember. The sisters traveled on till they came to a king's castle. They heard that 2 servants were needed in the castle. "Go now," said Smallhead to the 2 sisters, "and ask for service. Be faithful and do well. You can never go back by the road you came." The 2 found employment at the king's castle. Smallhead took lodgings in the house of a blacksmith nearby. "I should be glad to find a place as kitchen maid in the castle," said Smallhead to the blacksmith's wife. "I will go to the castle and find a place for you if I can," said the woman. The blacksmith's wife found a place for Smallhead as kitchen maid in the castle, and she went there next day. "I must be careful," thought Smallhead, "and do my best. I am in a strange place. My 2 sisters are here in the king's castle. Who knows? We may have great fortune yet." She dressed neatly and was cheerful. Everyone liked her better than her sisters, though they were beautiful. The king had 2 sons, one at home and the other abroad. Smallhead thought to herself one day, "It is time for the son who is here in the castle to marry. I will speak to him the first time I can." One day she saw him alone in the garden, went up to him, and said, "Why are you not getting married? It is high time for you." He only laughed and thought she was too bold, but then thinking that she was a simple-minded girl who wished to be pleasant, he said, "I will tell you the reason. My grandfather bound my father by an oath never to let his oldest son marry until he could get the Sword of Light, and I am afraid that I shall be long without marrying. Do you know where the Sword of Light is, or who has it?" asked Smallhead. "I do," said the king's son, "an old hag who has great power and enchantment, and she lives a long distance from this, beyond the Bridge of Blood. I cannot go there myself. I cannot cross the bridge, for I have killed men in battle. Even if I could cross the bridge I would not go, for many is the king's son that hag has destroyed or enchanted. Suppose some person were to bring the Sword of Light, and that person a woman, would you marry her?" "I would, indeed," said the king's son. "If you promise to marry my elder sister I will strive to bring the Sword of Light." "I will promise most willingly," said the king's son. Next morning early, Smallhead set out on her journey. Calling at the first shop she bought a stone weight of salt, and went on her way, never stopping or resting till she reached the hag's house at nightfall. She climbed to the gable, looked down, and saw the son making a great pot of stirabout for his mother, and she hurrying him. "I am as hungry as a hawk," cried she. Whenever the boy looked away, Smallhead dropped salt down, dropped it when he was not looking, dropped it till she had the whole stone of salt in the stirabout. The old hag waited and waited till at last she cried out, "Bring the stirabout, I am starving. Bring the pot, I will eat from the pot. Give the milk here as well." The boy brought the stirabout and the milk. The old woman began to eat, but the first taste she got she spat out and screamed, "You put salt in the pot in place of meal.